Hi everyone, I'm Joel Baird, General Manager of Missoula Community Access TV.
I'm Scott Ramp, and I'm Technical Advisor here at Missoula Community Access Television, otherwise known as Missoula's Community Media Resource.
We would like to extend an invitation to you, dear viewer, to make your own programs at MCAT. Every second Wednesday at 5:30 p.m., every second Wednesday of the month,
Yes.
we will give you a tour and a training of MCAT. You can see our studio, our edit facility, our cablecast automation system, and the cameras. And equipment we have for checkout.
Well, the digital SLR, this is called a Rebel T3i. It's an older model from the Canon Rebel series, and it's great because they introduced the flip-out screen, which you can get some really dynamic shots, low, high, and all sorts of different angles without losing your viewfinder. Being able to see what you're filming, you can take pictures. There's a lot of settings on here on the camera as well. It is a wonderful source for professional videography, photography, and on all that stuff as well. But also at the same time, it gets a nice zoom lens to get a nice angle and be able to have a really nice, rich depth of field that these cameras are known for.
Because sometimes what people associate with the cinema look is something's in focus sharply, and then everything behind it is blurry.
Yep. And you can still
then
get
the figure stands out, and that does that really well.
And you know, if you are very savvy and you get used to using that, you can even have the same thing with some of our cheaper version of the camera, which is still a Canon. We're a Canon family here. Canon RF50. It is a great camera for long format shooting, but also you can record onto a card on the inside of this camera as well. So if you want to get a nice close-up look. On the inside, you see that there's the camera. It has a nice pop-out lens as well. I'm going to try to keep it in the zone.
It's got the internal lens cover.
So you can see here.
Yeah.
Yep, and of course, you know, I'll turn it off so you don't have to see my face too much. It has the internal SD card apparatus right here. I don't know if I said apparatus, but
yeah, kind of like SD card recorder playback reader.
The insert, you put the card in there, you can close it, and then you're pretty much good to go. Record onto a card. You can record at a high format rate, which is I think about 35 megapixels per second.
Yeah, and it kind of rivals what's called like consumer high definition, and I think it looks really good on YouTube or Facebook as well.
Yep.
And the camcorder is really lightweight, and if you wanted to record like a lecture, presentation, or something that's going to go longer than, let's say, the 10 minutes, it's a better choice because the digital SLR tends to get overheated after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's not really well suited to like ongoing.
Yep.
Other accessories we can offer the MCAT volunteer producer. External microphones, which may include also lavalier microphones, not pictured here.
Much like the ones that we have on our lapel.
Right now.
Yeah.
You tell them something about how the shotgun mic works.
All right, let me tell you guys a little bit about microphones. So if you want to get a nice kind of like close-up look of my journal area, is that you can see this is called a shotgun mic. The whole idea of audio with a shotgun mic is it collects a certain area that you're pointing at, kind of like a spread out. You know how a shotgun spreads when you shoot? It kind of does the opposite with audio, kind of brings the audio in from a certain distance. It's good for directional shooting. They used a lot of this with kung fu movies to get a nice little action and everything like that. Then you, of course, you have the old school, which is called an omnidirectional microphone. Omnidirectional microphone is basically, imagine like a giant bubble comes around your head as you're talking into the microphone. This one is really good if you want to have a free kind of microphone and be able to talk with people and have a camera, like a microphone right here, put it next to somebody that you're talking to. And then, you know, this is a very much similar microphone that also works as a wireless microphone as well, so you don't need to hook it up directly to a camera. You're able to pop it on and then just be able to talk into it through a receiver.
Well, I'm back, and I got this vintage, which people aren't going to be able to check out, shotgun microphone. And did you talk to them about how the shotgun microphone isolates the voice from the background?
Yep.
And then we can show them the lavalier microphone.
So let's talk a little bit more about this lavalier mic. There's different types of lavalier mics. The mics that we're using right now are the ones that are wireless, and they're connected to the camera that we're hooked into right now. But this one is a little more in depth where you have to plug in an XLR cable.
That's right.
Very analog.
It's got a battery, so its pickup is really sensitive, though. I mean, I think that's a really good mic because of the battery is providing an extra oomph of power.
That's right.
Like the eclectic condenser or the phantom power. And then we also check out cabling. So in the instance of this here lab, the XLR cable locks into the unit, and then you have to consciously remove it. And then this goes into the camera, probably with an adapter.
Yep. And much like a lot of microphones, the shotgun microphone also always has the hidden compartment that most people don't understand.
Yeah, that's right.
That there's always a battery that goes on the inside of it. But most people don't know that you're actually supposed to take the battery out when you're not using it, because otherwise
it doesn't have an off and on.
Yep.
Unlike this old-fashioned one, it just goes on for a brief second. There's a flash of red light to indicate it's working, and then they try to remind you to turn it off with a red indicator underneath there. So maybe, Scott, should we talk about what people could expect if they come to MCAT every second Wednesday of the month at 5:30 for the tour and training? Tell people a little bit about like how we're going to go over the producer handbook.
Yep.
And then give a tour of the facility.
So basically what we do is we have you gather up, we have everybody, once everyone is here, we have you guys watch an orientation video that just kind of goes over everything that we're talking about.
It's really dated.
It's very dated, but of course we'll be updated when we
move to the library.
Yep. So there's a lot of news, but we don't want to talk too much news.
No, we want to invite people to come on down, see what MCAT has to offer right now before we make our big move to the library.
We can't, one of the things that we always talk about is that we never dictate what programs are being produced here.
Very good point.
One of the things is like, we are here to help you on the technical side, as you can see from our table and everything that we showed you.
Yeah.
We're the technical help for your projects.
That's right.
So you come in here, you use the studio, or you come in here, you check out our cameras, and then you use our editing stations afterwards. But for the most part, for the tour, you get a sense of what MCAT does, all the cameras, all the editing equipment, all the stuff that we have available. We have a lot of stuff that is available to the public.
Yeah, including this studio. So I'll show pictures later of the studio. It's about 600 square feet. It has an air conditioning and heat, but the good thing is you can turn it off, and it's relatively soundproof. We have big black velour curtains and also another backdrop that tends to absorb the sound. We've got a little bit of acoustic tiling up there. So if you're looking for a place, for instance, to do podcasts, maybe it's not a video, maybe it's a podcast, or maybe you're doing a podcast and you'd like to add a video component for your YouTube channel, however you're presenting it.
And most people
simulcast.
And most people that I do recognize who come down here are those who don't want to be on camera. So there's a lot of resources in place to help you launch your show, gather the right kind of people who do like to be on camera and help propel your show, whether that be a call-in show, a live show, or a pre-taped show using green screen, heavily edited, a movie,
a talk show,
a music video.
Music video, we've had those in our day. Or a place where you have a band. Let's see how that goes with other people in the building. But in the past, people have brought their bands here and recorded some kind of demo reel for the band or something on that order.
And of course, we're getting more and more technologically savvy, so it's not necessarily always about television, but we're also showing people how to use YouTube, Facebook, social media, Instagram. It is a wonderful source for people to get noticed, but we're here to help you on the technical side to get you to that point.
That's right. Like we're saying we're a First Amendment facility. What does that mean? It sort of means like we're not going to dictate what kind of message you put out there, and also you take responsibility for that message.
Yep.
So you sign a program contract that says, I am responsible, what do they say? Solely responsible for its content.
Yep.
And then the other aspect of coming down to go over the producer's handbook and see what we have to offer is learning how to use MCAT cooperatively.
Yep.
And that just has to do with like, how long do we check equipment out? How much stuff can you get at one time? How long can you stay here? At this point, I guess somebody could just move in. But usually they're 4-hour blocks to use the studio or the edit facility. We also have a virtual reality system here.
Yep.
I guess insert footage here of somebody using that. And then if people wanted to come and check it out, I think that's really just all right. It's not necessarily going to like lead to them making a show, but maybe if they're a gamer and they want to do gaming reviews or a review of the VR world, which is relatively cutting edge, I suppose, they could also do that. Right now it's free, right?
Yep.
We're not charging any money to learn how to use the equipment, learn Final Cut Pro 7, or scratch that, learn how to use Final Cut Pro 10, and then the PC version of that, or the Adobe version.
Adobe Premiere.
Yeah. Or it's CS Suite, right?
CS7, CS6. It's always updating. We have the Air, so we have a lot of Adobe programs. Not just Photoshop.
Encode.
After Effects.
Audition.
Flash. A lot of people like Flash because it's a really good drawing, animating program as well.
Right. Yeah. And then we have some stop motion capability among our computer network, like Dragon Frame is one and Stop Motion Studio is another.
Yes.
And to that end, I don't know, how we could help you do something like a whiteboard.
Yep.
But we also have that. We have like a lot of dry erase and whiteboard, and you could learn maybe to make whiteboard explainer videos the old-fashioned way.
And that's part of our tour that happens every second Wednesday of the month, is that we gather up with a lot of like-minded individuals who want to make a video. I came here wanting to make a movie, and I ended up coming out making a live call-in show.
That's right. Scott was very brave and did a live call-in show. You could do a call-in show, especially easy now, that you can just use your own phone.
Yep. And you can stream it online and everything, and just have it kind of like simulcast.
I just had a thought, though. It's like some people they're nervous about using their own phone.
Right.
Because they're like, I'm going to do a controversial call-in show, and everybody's going to call my number, and then they're going to text evil messages to you.
Right.
We do have a phone hookup here for the call-in.
But then, of course, people can always get burner phones.
Oh, is that right? That seems elaborate. Can
I know, right? Well, you just buy a phone, you get an unlimited plan for $45, and bada bing, bada boom, you have a number, and then you never have to look at it.
Then you throw it in the trash.
No, you just don't. You just don't pay it. You just never pay it, and then you just done, and it's done. It's pay per month.
Is it a throwaway society, people?
Yes, we are.
We're afraid it is. All right. So what else can we say from this location?
Well, a show can be made about anything. Creative-wise.
Right. And then like an election cycle is coming up. People could do shows about, maybe you have a favorite candidate and you want to rally people around Bernie Sanders or, whatever it is. We're totally open to that. Once again, when you make an MCAT show, we don't interfere with the content.
Nope.
You sign a program contract that says, I'm totally responsible for the content, and if it violates any state, federal, or local laws,
it's
kind of on you. That's
right.
Now, the reason you need to come down here to the second Wednesday of the month at 5:30 is so you kind of understand what we have to offer, and you can sign your legal agreement with MCAT and fill out an MCAT user application. It's first come, first serve, so it's not like you have to be a great star. So that's sort of what we're saying, is if you have a notion to craft a message and send it out, we're here to help you do that. And it's not just the cable channel, though I think I'd mentioned in my shorter version that we think between 9,000 and 10,000 households are hooked up to channel 189, where your program would be. Now there's about 3 people in your average household, so we're talking 27,000 people could watch your message if you could make them do it all at the same time. It's not likely, but anyway, what else should we tell them? That you could make like a group activity out of making an MCAT show. You could bring your friends in, they could learn to operate the studio cameras. It's not that hard. You like zoom, you focus, you move around, or more advanced, somewhat more advanced is using the switcher. It's not that hard. You can lay titles underneath when you use the switcher. You can switch between one camera and another. And you can record to a digital format that you could then either manipulate or say, I'm done.
Exactly.
Yeah. A nice thing about a live show is you're done when you're done. If you choose to do a live show at MCAT, it can run right out to those 9,000, 10,000 households, and you can have it replayed and you can load it on our video on demand. You could put it on Facebook or YouTube yourself.
Yep.
What else should we say? Can you think of anything else? We didn't really show them that light, but who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Nope. It's going to be a short show.
Well, we just like discuss back and forth about just like things we've seen on the shows and other things. Just reflecting on some of the shows that we've seen.
Right. We say.
So Joel,
yes.
Tell me a little bit about some of the programs that have aired on MCAT over the last 30 years that we've been around.
Yeah, that's right. So MCAT's been around for 29 years, and in that time, people have done live call-in shows. You've done it. Collective Effort has done it. What was that one called? Center to the Left.
Yep.
They have done it.
Ask a Lawyer. I remember that show from a long
that
time
was
ago.
the early MCAT show, Ask a Lawyer. People have done poetry readings on MCAT. They've also done marathons, and that's harder to do now.
Right. Oh.
There was readings and songs against the end of the world. My friend Temmie Rose did 24-hour marathon of people doing their poetry, their skits. It was kind of like a Jerry Lewis telethon with no fundraising, but an opportunity for people like to come together and like share their talents or interests and stuff. Also, we've mentioned bands. Bands have been in the studio or
we've gone out there and people actually producers
Remember
here.
Sam Tolman did Montana Made
Living Room
Music,
Sessions.
Living Room Sessions where he recorded people.
Which was an inspiration from NPR's Tiny Desk Concert.
Yeah, and then also like We Burn Like This or something was like a series where a well-known band like the Shins or something, they play in a house that was going to be set on fire as a practice for the fire department. I think you guys did that one time. One time the fire department burned down a neighborhood house as practice.
No, they went to the dormitory and they had a drill
where
they put in smoke. They let smoke out of the one of the dormitories. I can't remember what it was called, but it was right there, and it was like they acted like it was a very real,
like a real situation. Oh, I know something we could mention too, that if there are teachers out there watching, that MCAT's open to having a tour or having like a day that you would bring kids here and we make a small TV show for the kids to
We've worked with Boys and Girls Club flagship programs, mini programs throughout many different schools, Learn Inc. There's just a lot of
And you also
organizations.
did some homeschool stuff too, right?
Yep, that was Learn Inc.
That's
and also I've done some stuff with I think it was Endeavor.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Yeah, they do their own thing now. They kind of started here, but then now they grew their own thing. They do a regular movie every year called Zombies in Zootown.
Oh, I didn't know that was them. Yeah, so doing a sports show, I've seen that on MCAT.
Yeah.
A movie review show, seen that on MCAT. And also, I've never seen it on this channel or whatever, this station. We've never really had a gaming review show. We've had a lot of people that like did gaming and then just like released their game as a video.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone's actually sat down and said, this game I like, this game.
What about that one game, Allies versus the Octopus? We broadcasted.
Oh, that's right. Like a chess game was done down here too. And
we had a group of, basically it was like a think tank of people.
Yeah, that's right.
Going against
one chess master. The state master.
Greg Novak.
Yeah. And there were like 4 of them in a different room, and then we had a camera in the other room, so he wouldn't hear them strategizing. And I think we did that twice, and the games were like 2 hours long.
Yeah, it's a chess game.
That's quite a bit. Also, if people are in other occupations, where they're working with a group, whether they're juveniles or adults, and they're looking for something to do with their group. Now, it could be, they don't have that anymore. Didn't the Big Brothers thing that's closed? Scratch that. And we had the 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, we've had a couple deals for a lot of after school and kids. Boys and Girls Club is a good resource as well for a lot of kids who are.
And they already come like in the summer.
Yeah.
What else could we say? That we've got old beat up couches. We have a limited amount of furniture, like this table. We've got couches. We've got a few set items like brick walls and various backdrops. We've got the green screen.
Yeah, we've utilized a lot of people in the community to help make MCAT the way it is today.
Yeah.
Like we've had a lot of community involvement, including Thomas Robinson, who made us our space taxi back in the day, which was an
that was
audio-visual
great.
ride. Then we kind of upgraded to doing more of that VR, like we were talking about a little bit earlier. It's a nice way to kind of create on its own as well. I mean, I like going on VR specifically for drawing in 3D space.
Yeah. I should say, let's take a look at some footage we shot showing you some of our edit facility outside the studio doors.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, I'm talking about that thing.
Yeah.
And then, what else? Oh, now let's take a look at the front office where we have the automation equipment, and we can show you the 2 channels in action 24/7. Oh, I didn't see you come in. If you did create a show on MCAT, your message would be shown either on our cable channel 189 or cable channel 190, which is on the Charter Spectrum cable that supplies cable to Missoula City and Missoula County. We're estimating there's about 9,500 subscriber households. So if you made a program on MCAT, you could potentially reach 27,000 people in the Missoula area. What else? What else could you add to that? Service is free.
Service is free.
Second Wednesday of the month, 5:30 p.m. Most people spend about an hour.
An hour.
If they have questions, they stay after, but you're done like in 90 minutes.
It's really lax. It's a very chill environment.
Yep.
We don't deter you from making your videos.
Yeah, that's right. We have no particular agenda. It doesn't have to fit any form. Well, we should say it's got to be non-commercial.
Yep.
But having said that, you could do a show about products or about a specific like interest.
Yep.
But you can't say buy my thing for a specific price by a certain date or what's called like a call to action or something. But it's still, there's a lot of leeway in there. Like I always thought if somebody like sold vacuum cleaners, they could do a show all about the importance of vacuum cleaning.
Like
and
this show
HEPA
the show can be called This Sucks.
Yeah, for instance. So there's some room in there. Wasn't there that lady from East Missoula that had a show about, maybe she sold wool from her own lambs, her own sheep, and she did a show about like how to weave or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sky is the limit. It's an open invitation. It is not a judgmental invitation. People are on a first come, first served basis, and we'd love to see you down here at MCAT. Located at 500 North Higgins Avenue in Suite 105. We're just right across the street from the Iron Horse on the west, and on the south, we're right across the street from Missoula Textiles. Or you could see our little awning with our old logo on it just to the west of the Peak Gym on Spruce Street downtown. Yeah. So thanks for watching. We hope to see you here at MCAT every second Wednesday of the month at 5:30.
Goodbye, everyone.